Hail brothers and sisters, my name is Captain Meatshield and welcome back to Bobs and Angels Factorio. Or, I still don't know if I'm going to have another title for it, but for now, we're sticking with this. Where are we at? What are we doing? I've got to take a few moments to gather myself and gather any miners that are left lying around. I've been playing a lot of Bobs and Angels in my spare time, so I've got to reacclimatise myself to the layout of everything here, because I've done an awful lot on other maps. And right, okay, yeah, we got the first two ores started. We started sorting them, and we were moving on to rubite and bobmonium. So we need to get those sorted out. We need to literally get those two sorted. I'm gonna just kind of break this connection for the time being. I'm gonna just put you like that, because once we get the other two sorting arrays online, the throughput of the crushed stone is going to be too much for one belt. And I think the same can be said for the slag. But I'm also going to want to... We're doing alright on the storage for the time being. But I'm going to want to set up a great deal of stone, kind of the compression of, or the... turning the crushed stone into regular stone and then smelting that into like stone brick and stuff, just to get rid of it, or just to condense it down, because we're going to end up with loads of the bloody stuff. So, for now, we should make a start on getting those sorted, because once we get... I think it's the bobmonium. Once we get that sorted, we start getting silicon. And when we get silicon, we can make greenhouses, which means we can get a renewable supply of wood, which is going to be very good for us. What's going on with my my long reach broken again? Let me just try and fix that. So, next on our list of things to do, things to sort out, is going to be rubite, which we are going to need an awful lot more belt for. Have I got belt production? I do. Yes, good. I don't remember any of what I've got set up right now. So I'm just going to grab everything I can, and I'm going to drag this line all the way over this way until I find where my rubite is. Okay, I don't think I need to keep the rubite production going for the time being. Oh, it's nice to clean up all those power lines. Lovely. Right. Nope, those are just sorters and crushers. What blueprint am I looking for? I would like... Do I have a blueprint for my for miners? I should do. If I don't, I'm very confused as to why. Just going to cover the entire field. Provided I've got enough miners, I think I should do. Well, that all kicked off rather quickly and has started to kill my power. Whoops. Okay, let's grab some iron. And I've still got a gear production, haven't I? Yeah. Give me that. Right, we're now at half of what we can maintain with a column like this. So we could double this up on the other side. But that's kind of holding out for the time being, so I'm not too worried. Right, now that silo is just all set up so it can start getting to work. Don't need crushed stereotyte on me. What other things do I need? I need a lot of stuff. I need more ore crushers. There's going to be more belt. So we should bring the belt for the crushed stone over. Fix that in there. Need more loaders. That's another thing. Right. Let's get all this stuff laid out. Get it all plugged in. You need to be outputting crushed rubite. And so do you, as soon as you get placed. Come on. There we are. That's going to be crushed stone. And then these are sorting the crushed rubite. and I can't remember what they're going to be outputting. Right, change this to lead ore. Okay, that's that one. And we want to change the copper to nickel. Yes, good, got the right stuff. It's hard to keep track of everything in this game, or with this set of mods at the very least. Okay. Off to a fairly decent start. We're going to need more warehouses. That much is for certain. So I need more steel. I need more iron. Now I need more steel and iron. Oh, typical. How much iron is left in there? It's quite a bit, so that's alright. The frustrating thing is I've come up with loads of new kind of setups for all of this sort of stuff over the last couple of weeks while I've been playing more and more. And out of belt. Great! Give me more. Where? Always just need more stuff. Oh wait, did I want to put the slag onto the same line? I can't remember. Probably. Might be able to manage with it on the same line for the time being. So I'll do this. Just for now. Okay. We need a warehouse for the nickel. And then the last thing we've got to do is we've got to set up the bobmonium. Which shouldn't be too difficult, I would like to say. I'd like to say. I can't guarantee. I'll stop putting the loaders up there. I don't need them up there. I need to put loaders here. I just want to get things in place so that once I get everything coming over this way, it will just be good to go. Right, so lead ore. Lead was one of the things that we were using, wasn't it? Because that was what came out of these. There was lead plate here. The thing is, we're not really using it all that much, so I think we're best off just kind of stockpiling the ore for the time being until we get a proper smelting set up and we start on a proper main bus. But we're still at the stages of trying to get things ready for that. We're trying to get ourselves into a position where we can... Well, we're working with the kind of basic kind of starter base for the time being. We are working our way towards a full bus setup, but there are lots of stages that I still haven't fully explored yet. We haven't even... we need to get a more efficient smelting setup first, which is what we're striving for. So, have I got more miners? I have 8. That's not quite enough, I think. I will have half of what's in there. Okay, time to disconnect the bobmonium. Oh, I also forgot to mention when I started this episode that I moved the smelting arrays over, but I'm sure you will notice that. I just decided to kind of condense things down. I let all the belts run dry. And just shifted things about a little bit. Worked out rather nicely, kept things looking nice and neat, and we've got room to kind of condense things down even further once we get all this stuff shifted around. We'll get all the stone processing moved over, maybe by the warehouses. We'll get things set up there so we can set up another warehouse or warehouses for like the actual processed stone and then the stone bricks. So we'll just end up with a metric fuck ton of all of it. I think it's probably going to be the best way of doing things. So let's clear away all this crap. With the exception of what's in the boxes, because I'm not carrying all of that. It's an awful lot of stuff. But we'll just plug loaders onto the boxes and we'll clear them out. The fact that that is not lined up with all this is annoying to me. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I left it like that, and I'll fix it later. For now, I've got to plant down some more miners so that we can get some bobmonium out of the ground. We've got to get the old bob out of the ground. Might not be the most efficient way of getting things done, but if it works, it works. Ooh, God, that was loud. It all kicked off at once. Yeah, we're not going to get a huge amount of bobmonium out of all this. But we're going to get something. And something is better than nothing. Something is what we want. Okay, how are we looking? Stirritite is kind of okay. We seem to be struggling to hold any sort of, like, backup supply of it. But everything is running as far as all of these are concerned. Slag belt is starting to back up on what, or is completely backed up on one side. But the nature of the loaders does mean they'll start loading it onto the other side as well. But now we need to just kind of plug all of this stuff in. Okay, crushers all sorted. Good, all of them have got their inputs and outputs. Oh, now I'm short on iron plate for a warehouse. I had enough steel for that. I don't know, I could just go with a silo. It's not going to hold as much. But it would be a damn sight cheaper than a warehouse. And for some of these things, we're not going to be getting a huge amount. Certainly not until we scale up production anyway. So, I guess for now, we could just go with silos. So, crushed bobmonium is going to get us tin and silicon ore. So, this will be tin, I believe. Where is tin? Tin ore is in here somewhere. And then, finally, silicon ore. Oh, yeah! We can start smelting that into glass, and we can build ourselves some greenhouses, with which we can make a renewable wood supply. A renewable wood supply that will feed itself, which is bloody marvellous, if you ask me. Okay, so we want silos for nickel. We only really need 3 of these. I'm just going to bring this slag belt all the way down. We'll see if this yellow belt will be able to support like this much slag, but it might. I don't know. But I'm going to get the slag to be processed into crushed stone, and then we're going to get all the crushed stone processed into regular stone, and then regular stone smelted into stone brick. So we should be able to condense down the amount of the waste materials that we have. But all that there is bloody glorious. That's all of our base materials sorted and being stockpiled. The only thing we haven't got that I have seen is this stuff, crotinium, which I've never actually processed crotinium. I've not got far enough to start processing it. So, what does crushed crotinium give you? Crushed crotinium ore sorting gives you slag, 2 copper, and 1 iron. Okay. Intriguing. Is there anything else that crushed crotinium can be used in? Hydro refining? No? Oh, it gives you crotinium chunks. Sorting those gives you copper, iron, lead, and silver. You can make it crystals. And sorting those will give you... Ooh, adds gold to the list. Then purified gives you copper, iron, lead, silver, gold, and titanium without anything like slag. So these purified kind of forms of various different materials are going to be an end goal, I reckon. So I've got the basic stuff sorted. I'm not too fussed about getting the other materials smelted and belted for the time being. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sort out all of this stuff. I'm going to get another silo. So I've got one there for... That will be... Yeah, we'll have one for the stone, and we'll have one for stone brick. Nothing too fancy, but it will be something. So, we want to take our assembling machines. We want to come up here to our stone, or crushed stone. Actually, how do I make crushed stone out of slag? I use ore crushers. Okay. I'm going to reverse this for a moment, and I'm going to move it down here. Yeah, it's not going to be a bother. Right, okay. I forgot I needed to change the pick up and drop off. There we go. Right, like that. Thank you. And you need to have your pickups extended. Lovely. Right, that gets us another belt of crushed stone. But this can come up this way. And I'm going to get a belt of crushed stone coming out this way. Alright, that's got the crushed stone turning into regular stone. Oh, this is just a mess. Right, and then I'm going to... yeah, I'm going to put a smelting column in here. And I also need to move all of this stuff. Yep, had a feeling all that was going to happen, so let's put a silo up here just to load all of that into. Right, that's all that there. Let's put a loader on, get that loading in, and no, don't want to do that. I want to grab more inserters, and I want to get another smelting column down. Okay, so we have taken our slag, we started processing that into crushed stone. We're now struggling for power again, so I'll have to go and double that up. But the crushed stone is being merged with a belt coming out of this warehouse. It is being processed back in, or straight into regular stone, which is getting stored in a silo. Which is also now being belted down here to run through a smelting column, which is smelting it into stone brick, which will be stored within this silo. Oh, it's nice and neat and organised and wonderful. Yeah, really pleased with that. Okay, I'm going to grab as much iron as I can, and we're going to double up our power supply. I also think we could do with some more miners on the coal, because we're going to be struggling in a little while if I don't deal with that. And that is one doubled up power supply. Glorious. Let's get some lights in here as well, just so that we can see things a little bit better. Right, I'm going to go and put some more miners up on the coal that is providing the, or supplying the power, just to make sure that we don't end up with one of those awful power spirals. Oh, hello. Little box full of coal. Didn't realise you were still running. Okay, that should help keep the power supply running. Right, I have just started researching greenhouses. I'm not going to do too much to get the greenhouses operational. I'm going to take a little bit of this silicon, and I'm going to chuck it into a furnace. If I can find a furnace. Stone furnace, that'll do. Just plonk you there. Load you up with coal. And we're going to smelt this into glass. I think that's what I'm going to get out of that. If I'm correct. That would be glass. Right, greenhouses have been researched. I'm going to move on to metallurgy. Metallurgy. It's an interesting word, isn't it? But this is going to be our next stage of smelting. At least from what I have practiced so far. It opens up an awful lot of stuff. And all of the... researching this only researches the structures themselves. We then have to go through and research each individual material that we want to smelt. So we're going to start with this. I'm going to research that. And we'll probably start with just advanced iron smelting. So we can change this from a ratio of... What are we getting out of this iron at the moment? We went from a 3:2 ratio to a 4:3, which was a little bit better. But if we go through the metallurgy of using a blast furnace and doing things more as you would with a real smelting industry, like melting it down into a molten iron and then casting that into a plate, we're going to get much more of a 1-to-1 ratio. And then I think as we further research and develop even more advanced and intricate ways of smelting the different materials, we can actually get a net gain out of the smelting process. It's going to result in the entire smelting area being absolutely monstrously massive, but it does mean that we're going to have things running a little bit smoother. Okay, plonk. Here's our greenhouse. Looks a bit familiar, doesn't it? It's basically a lab with a pipe on it. With a pipe connection. But this takes water and seedlings, and it turns those into wood. And then we can take an assembling machine, and we can take those take some of that raw wood, and we can turn that back into seedlings. So this is one of our first systems where we're going to get a kind of self-propelled system. It's I'm not entirely sure on the term for it, like a positive feedback loop kind of thing. It will basically fuel itself as it gets processed. So I want to find a good spot to put it down, because we do need a water supply. I mean, there's water down there, but that's kind of not where I want it. Ooh, okay. One little patch that's not got any radar coverage, and it's extremely polluted. Yeah, bugs aren't going to be happy with me, are they? Have I still not seen any sapphirite? Oh, there's a bit over there, but it's not much. Oh, that is worrying. I am going to need more of that, because... there's quite a bit over there, nearly 1 million. We got just under 300k left. Alright, let's bring this... Let's bring the greenhouses over this way, and I'm just gonna try and set up a basic blueprint for them. Alright, I'm just gonna plonk this roundabouts here, I guess. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Forgot to put power in on the other side of this, but never mind, I can manage. So that's going to come in around that way, and then we're going to get an underground pipe, I believe. And have I got an offshore pump? I don't, so I need one of those. Right, now I think I've got this set up correctly. Just need to get these last few greenhouses installed. Thank you, robots. Nanobots. So if I put a single piece of wood in there, I get 5 or so... I get 5 seedlings for a single piece of raw wood. They will now cycle around the inside of this belt. And that's not actually enough seedlings, is it? So do enough, hopefully, to load up this machine. For 10 seedlings and 20 water, so for the use of 2 pieces of raw wood, we can fuel a greenhouse that will then produce 15 raw wood in the space of a minute. Takes a while, but once this system gets going, this belt will completely fill up with raw wood, which we can then drag all the way over this way. Oh, and I lined that up absolutely bloody perfectly. I am so chuffed. Thank you very much. I'm a little too happy about that. Right. I do kind of want to wait for this thing to start getting kicked into action. So what I might do, I'm going to just chuck the rest of the wood that I have into there, so that this belt will just fill up with seedlings. And I've used the the nice feature of the splitters, putting the output priority to just send raw wood out this way. So we shouldn't get any of the seedlings. Once they eventually do loop round, they will just fill this belt, and this will shut down until there's like a break in the belt. But we should be alright, I reckon. First batch of wood is coming out. Nice. These inserters are going to be a little slow for everything, but I don't mind too much. Like, it's not an absolutely imperative system that we need to be running at full speed, I think. We should be able to manage. But I remember watching people doing like kind of Bob's Mods playthroughs before these new splitters came in. And they had to rig up. You had to rig up like ridiculous kind of convoluted setups around your assembling machines that were making the seedlings, that involved like all the circuit network and clever use of splitters and inserters and filter inserters and all that sort of stuff. But you are absolutely loaded up on that stuff, aren't you? Bloody hell. But there we go. We now have our renewable wood supply, providing a belt of wood. I mean, it's not much, but it's certainly going to keep all of our circuitry in operation, because we're completely out of the BCBs, the basic circuit boards. Yeah. Which means that we're not getting any more nanobot construction, we're not going to be getting any more splitters, and we're not going to be getting any more of the BEBs, or any of these being produced, either. So it'd be good to just let all this stuff kind of kick back in, given time as the rest of these greenhouses load up and they start working, similar to the Covarex enrichment process that we were dealing with in Attack on Factorio. As all this stuff gets sorted out, or as all of these machines slowly load up, this whole process will just move quicker. Because the process takes 60 seconds, and we've got 20 machines, so essentially that is like one of these, these machines outputting every 3 seconds. Essentially, one of these machines will output on an average of every 3 seconds. I think my maths is correct on that one. I don't fucking know. But this whole system seems to be working, so I think I'm quite content to wrap this episode up here and just say thank you all so much for watching. Next episode we'll start trying to dive into the metallurgy side of things, and we'll try and get a slightly more efficient output for our base materials of iron, copper, maybe even look at some more of the the other stuff like lead, tin. Get those running a little more efficiently so that we can start working it towards a main bus. And I don't know, we might have to do a bit of scouting, maybe a little bit of biter clearing, so that we can make our way towards some of these larger resource patches. And I really want to try and find a large patch of sapphirite, because we've got quite a bit of stereotype popping its head out. Starting to see some cretinium, but it's mostly stereotype that we're seeing, and sapphirite is really what we need to go after. But all that will come within the next episode, so I will wrap this one up here and just say thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out the playlist on the channel for more Let's Plays on metal covers, and give this video a like or a comment just to leave your thoughts. And if you wish to join the ever-growing ranks of the Order of the Shield, be sure to hit that subscribe button, or maybe even consider checking out my Patreon and becoming an officer within the ranks. But thank you again for watching this video, and I will catch you all very, very soon. This is Captain Meatshield, signing off. skill set then. Haha, you stop squirming. Oh, such flurry, such grace.